Hello YouTube! Hello! And we're back, of course. And today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. I had just had this idea, and I was like, let's make it. So we're gonna be discussing Kazuya as a character with RPG stats. So let me just show you guys what I mean. You guys already saw the chart on the thumbnail, which is very accurate. Obviously, we all know how lovable Kazuya is. But the actual chart, I'll show you guys. It's this one. This is the actual chart. I made it myself. This is my own opinion, obviously. But I will be explaining each one of these sections, what they mean, and why they are what they are. So this is gonna be an explanation of each of this for the character Kazuya. I might do something similar for other characters as well. But if I do, which I most likely will, I will make it like a rule for myself that I have to be at least GOD 5, let's say. If I'm not GOD 5 with the character, I'm talking out of my ass, basically. So that does not count. I don't know what I'm talking about. So thankfully with Kaz, I am GOD 7. You guys can see the rank there. I'm flexing my rank. Obviously, I'm flexing my rank. GOD 7 is pretty high, right? You have to flex that. So yeah, I actually can qualify and talk about Kaz. So let's start. So I'm going to explain this. I have 5 stats. By the way, I had a hard time really figuring out which stats to add. But these 5 are the ones I personally wanted to add. But there are a lot. Like a lot that I can actually add. But yeah, difficulty, pressure, mix-up, keep-out, and evasion. So 2 defensive stats, 2 offensive stats, and 1 just difficulty. Right? I think that's fine. So let's talk about each and every single one of them and what makes them what they are. So one more thing, if you guys want to see this chart, I will post it on Discord as well, like the chart itself. So just join the Discord if you want to see it. So yeah, let's start. So the first thing I do want to mention, is gonna be pressure. I'm gonna leave difficult for last. So why is pressure 60? I had the pressure at 60. Why is it low-ish, right? It's not too low, but it's low-ish. So the thing about this is that in Tekken 8, I don't think any characters will have any value below, I don't know, 40 or 50. I don't think anything is gonna be something even below that, to be fair. So the pressure is 60 because offensive pressure, while Kaz can do some of it, most of it is not worth doing. Because his buttons, for example, if I make Brian block here, right, just make him block, his buttons usually have very high frames when it comes to -8, -9, -7. His fast buttons, the best ones he can use are gonna be jabs. If you want to pressure someone, it's with jabs, wall standing fours, maybe electrics at the wall, usually. Even in the open, electrics can be fine, right? But it's not really the same kind of pressure that you would expect other characters to have. As I said, it's not that low, like it's not 50 for example, but it's still not that good because you don't really pressure with buttons. Because your buttons either are slow, like this, which is also high minus because it's -7, and they also usually lack tracking. Like they don't have good tracking. Down forward 1 can be stepped, down forward 4 can be stepped. Back 2 has decent tracking, but it's, you know, -8. Like back 2 is not that bad, but it's also very little plus. Even if it does hit, it's +4. Say with down forward 4, it's +2. And it's all of those, you can't really keep pressure up, and it's not really his thing. It's not Kazuya's thing, right? That's why you don't see a lot of people pressing a lot of buttons up close, other than, let's say, jabs. So jabs can work, electrics can work, 1-1 pressure can work really well, jab like this, right? This is really strong and really good, but it's not up there. It's really not up there. Now, let's go next. Let's talk about mix-ups. I think mix-up is very self-explanatory. I'm talking about how good of a reward and not how easy it is, but it's more like how good of a reward the mix-up gives and how good of an options you have when it comes to lows and mids, right? So Hell Sweep, obviously an amazing reward for a low. I haven't sent to punish, that's my fault, but a Hell Sweep is amazing for the mix-up, right? And having this Hell Sweep, especially at the wall, is really strong. So mix-ups, reward-wise, the Hell Sweep is really good. You can also easily mix it up with FF2, CD1+2, FF3, so your mid options are there as well. You can also mix it up with down forward 3-1, down forward 1-4, down back 2, forward 4. So the options are decent. And we can also use down back 4 for a low risk mix-up as well. So it's not like we have only high risk mix-ups, we also have low risk mix-ups that are also pretty damn good to use. Down back 4 is great, as I already mentioned. And if you feel like it, you can also use down back 3. It's not as good, but it is up there. But these mix-ups are usually have very, very good reward, which is why it's so damn high. It's 85, right? Out of 100, that's pretty damn high. So yeah, that's it for mix-ups. It's gonna be more simple explanations. Let's talk about evasion. So evasion is something like moves that jump, moves that go backwards, moves that automatically sidestep. That is evasion, right? For example, this, technically speaking, is an evasive move because it jumps, right? Technically speaking, a hop kick is also an evasive move, right? There we go. This is what evasion means. So Kazuya does not have that high evasion because his moves aren't really evasive by nature. Like, he's not, let's say, 40 or 30 evasion, could be pretty low, and he is like 50-ish, because he has some evasion into him. He does have it. Like, down back 3, being a high crush can be really good. Down 1+2 is also very good as a high crush move. The only weakness it has is it's slow, and it's very steppable. Most of the time, it's very steppable, right? And as I said, it's slow. But these are good enough for him to have, like, decent options in these kind of situations to use them, especially down 1+2. And he also has a backswing blow in back 1+2, which doesn't really go backwards that much, right? Doesn't really work too much, but it is there. It's not good, it's not great, definitely not great, but it is there. So there we go. Other than that, his evasion is not really that much. Up forward 3 can work, but it doesn't really give you anything. It doesn't have range, it has bad whiff recovery. It's as an evasive move, it doesn't really work that well. It works better than as a mix-up move than an evasive move. So yeah, that concludes the explanation on evasion. Now let's talk about Keepout. So Keepout is usually a button that you would use to make people afraid to come close to you. Because if someone's close to you, they would usually pressure you or mix you up very, very easily. The Keepout button exists to stop them from doing that. The Keepout button is an electric for Kazuya, right? Just like in the chart, I said that his Keepout is pretty damn high, which is 80. That's pretty high, but that's assuming that you're electricing correctly and electricing well. If you're not electricing correctly, his Keepout buttons are very, very laggy. The best Keepout he has outside of an electric is maybe a jab, right? Jabs like 1-2s or 1-1s or jab like that. That is the best thing he can have, and his jab, as most people already know, is not the best. He can get crushed very easily in random situations when it's supposed to get crushed or not supposed to get crushed. Doesn't matter, it gets crushed. So jab is not the best, but it can work, especially if you do a 1-1 in the correct timing and get that 1-1-2. Decent Keepout, right? But electric is what separates his Keepout from any other Keepout moves, because his electric is so damn good. It recovers very well, it instantly launches someone. If you time it correctly, you can also catch someone very, very well, as I said, depending on your timing. And when you do catch them, the reward is very high, it's a normal hit launcher, and it also gives good damage, right? If you do something like this combo, example, which is a double touch combo, 82 damage is pretty damn high. Right? It's not the easiest combo, but it is there. So that is why the Keepout is so damn high, but it's also why it's not higher, let's say. Because even though his Keepout is very, very good, it is very dependent on his electric, basically, right? Basically. So that's about Keepout, but now let's talk about difficulty. So difficulty has a lot of meaning behind it, right? It's not just execution. Execution is obviously demanding. For example, electric, right? Electric is very demanding, and it's not easy to just electric. And I do not count the ability to do a down forward 2 into perfect electric, by the way, which I can't do apparently, right? I suck. But this is something I don't count. This is not needed at all. So, one, the difficulty is 75, right? 75 difficulty. Why is it not higher or why is it not lower? Let's say, right? Because one, he has a very simple game plan. His game plan is not that difficult to grasp. Like, he has good mix-ups, right? He has electrics, he has FF2, jabs, knockdown into mix-ups. It's not that difficult. And at the wall, you just, get to do a wall splat, mixed up with a hell sweep, mixed up with any low, move around a bit. It's not that difficult, and he's more of a simple character. Because his moveset is not 200. He doesn't have like 200 moves. The moves he does use and are good are limited. But you have to know how to use them. So now that simplicity goes back around. The simplicity is the reason why it's not higher, but it's also the reason why it's as high as it is as well, because the simplicity can backfire. Now you're supposed to learn how to use the simple moves and limited moveset correctly, which means that you have to use movement a lot, which Kazuya does rely on movement a lot, and with that movement you also have to use your execution buttons, where button, which is an electric, as I said, the keep out on the electric is very, very important. That is one of the execution requirements. The other execution requirements is that you are supposed to be able to electric on command on your movement. Like for example, when you're backdashing like this, you have to be able to electric on command, just so you can keep someone out or whiff punish someone. And it's the same after a sidestep. Like whenever wave dashing sidestep electric, example, backdash sidestep electric, you have to be able to do this stuff on command. And this is not easy to do. It's not easy to do at all. And this execution demand is pretty damn high compared to some other characters who get like easy launchers, right? They could just do a sidestep into a can, sidestep into a down forward 2, or whatever the hell, right? So this is very important. But not only that, there's also the execution demand for punishment. If you want to launch someone, not just with punishment, but actually regular punishment, you have to electric. You don't really have a choice when it comes to that, because your 15 frame punisher is down forward 1-4 into something like this, let's say, right? Or you can even stomp it. This is your 15 frame punisher. So if you do want to launch someone, let's say you block Brian's down forward 1, right? You block this right here, and it's exactly minus 50. If you want to launch this is not that easy to launch. You have to time your electric correctly, which I mistimed there, for example, right? There we go, now I did correctly, to be able to launch something like this. Other characters will get a very easy punish, well, most other characters, not everyone. But you are forced to do an electric here, which is, you know, not that easy. This is actually an execution demand and a timing demand at the same time. So this basically is the explanation of why I have difficulty in 75. I would have it higher. For example, if I was talking about Tekken 7 guys, I would have it higher. But in Tekken 8, they made every character way easier, and Kazuya is actually included in that, because he has forward 2 for mix-up options. He has CD1+2 as well. His heat is also very, very strong with down back 1-2, whatever the hell. Right, so his execution is really not that difficult, but this is also one of the most difficult characters in the game, if you ask me. So a 75 difficulty in Tekken 8 is one of the most difficult in the game. I just think that a lot of characters are pretty damn easy. Most characters are pretty damn easy. That's why 75 is on the higher end. But yeah, everyone, YouTube, big thanks for watching. Big thanks for watching. If you guys like this, let me know. Maybe I'll make another one. Also, let me know what character you want me to make it on. I have to know the character to make it. As I said, if I don't have them in GOD5, I most likely won't make it. But I'll just play them. Why not? I'll just play them. Let me know which character you want me to make next. And most likely I'll make it. So yeah, thanks for watching once again. I'll see everyone next one. Till then.